WNBA star rookie Angel Reese will sit out the rest of the season after suffering a wrist injury during a game on Friday night. Reese has had a phenomenal first season, setting a WNBA record with 15 double-doubles, already breaking the league's single-season rebounds record and ending her first year averaging more than 13 points and rebounds per game. Reese posting a message on Instagram on Saturday writing, "Although this is God's timing and not mine, I am finally able to give myself a physical and mental break."
So y'all know I hurt my wrist. I am out for the season. I fell on my hand when I got the M1. When I fell back, fell on my hand, and it is a small crack in my bone. Yeah. Basically, the doctors told me that I could either not get surgery or have surgery. The risk of not having surgery, I could literally have arthritis at 22 years old. That wasn't an option.
Yeah, I think it's obviously definitely sad anytime you see anybody go down with an injury, especially people that you came into this league with, whether it was Cam, whether it was Angel, and especially Angel. Like, you want to see her finish out this year. Obviously, she's had a historic year and she's done some incredible things. And for me, like, getting to play against her, like, her motor is up there, if not the best in the league. Like, she just doesn't stop working. So, you know, congratulations to her. I thought she had a tremendous year, and I thought she came to the league and really did what she's done well her entire career as long as I've known her. So it's definitely devastating. That's never anything you want to see from a player.
Shocking news out of the WNBA, where Sky rookie Angel Reese is out for the remainder of the season with a wrist injury. Reese made the announcement on social media. She did play in the Sky's last game on Friday, finishing with 24 points and 12 boards in a win over the Sparks. The 7th overall pick in the 2024 draft has exceeded expectations.
So Angel Reese is officially out for the year in what is one of the weirdest things I have seen. Obviously, great rookie. Brilliant rookie season for Angel Reese here. She has been a top 2 rookie, obviously the number 2 rookie. I think as the season's gone on, she had a bit of a slump, which happens. I think she basically had her sophomore slump as a rookie. It happens.
Good evening, I'm Mike Norris, and you're watching Tune In News TV. Tonight, we bring you a significant development from the world of women's basketball. Chicago Sky rookie sensation Angel Reese has announced that her remarkable debut season has come to an unexpected and premature end due to a wrist injury. Reese, who was selected as the 7th overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, made the announcement on her social media platforms on Saturday. The news comes as a shock to fans and the basketball community, as Reese had been having a standout rookie campaign.
It's unfortunate announcement out of Chicago. Angel Reese's rookie season is over. She took to social media to announce that unfortunately she suffered a season-ending injury. What a year. I would have never imagined the last bucket of my rookie season would be a 3, but maybe that was God saying give them a taste of what they will be seeing more of in year 2. Now, following this announcement, Chicago would later released a statement that said the injury was in fact her wrist and it occurred in their September 6th game versus Los Angeles. So obviously unfortunate news. Monica, what comes to mind?
Ocho, we have some breaking news. Angel Reese is out for the year with a season-ending injury. She announced on her social media. What a year. I never could have imagined last bucket of my rookie season would be a 3. But maybe God's saying give them a taste of what they'll be seeing more of in year 2, LOL. Through it all, I've showed that I belong in this league, even though no one else believed. I'm not so sure about that. You're the 7th pick in the draft, Angel. I have ever wanted to come, dub, and make an impact.
All right, black and white sports supporters. Well, if you are an Angel Reese fan, I guess in some kind of way this morning you are mourning as Angel Reese's season has come to a pretty anticlimactic end. She's out for the rest of the season. She has an injury. I think this is going to get very interesting. You may be like, really more interesting than Angel playing? Yeah, because I think it could expose the Chicago Sky in some kind of way. And what I mean by that is I've been banging the drum for about a month that Camila Cardoso is the real rookie star on this team. But she's not getting fed, and it's because of Angel Reese. Well, she's about to get fed for the rest of the season.
Picture this: a crucial game, a fall that silences the crowd, and the realization of a season-ending injury. Angel Reese, the basketball prodigy with an electrifying presence on the court suddenly faced one of the toughest challenges of her young career, a wrist injury that could derail her trajectory. The decision whether to undergo surgery became a focal point, not just for Angel, but for her coaches, fans, and the sports community watching closely. Let's dive into the saga of Angel Reese's wrist injury. From the heart-stopping moment it happened, to the intense decision-making process and the subsequent journey towards recovery. We'll explore the critical elements impacting her career and the broader implications in the world of sports injuries. Buckle up, it's a story of resilience, tough choices, and an unyielding drive to return stronger. Injury overview. In the world of sports, injuries are a dreaded but common reality, and even the best athletes aren't immune. Angel Reese, a standout on the basketball court, found herself in such a situation. During a particularly intense game, she took a tumble that would change the course of her season. As she landed, her wrist bore the brunt of the fall, resulting in a small, yet significant crack in one of the bones. This injury wasn't just a minor sprain you could shake off with a bit of ice and rest. It was a game changer. Reese instantly felt the impact, not just physically but emotionally too. The severity of the injury sent shockwaves through her team and fan base. Everyone knew this wasn't just a setback, but potentially a season-ending blow. For an athlete with so much on the line, the implications of such an injury are monumental. Immediately, Reese was faced with a crossroads: to play through the pain and risk further damage, or to opt for surgery and potentially secure her long-term playing career. It was a gut-wrenching scenario, weighing the immediate disappointment of abandoning a season against the possibility of safeguarding her career's future. In essence, Angel Reese's wrist injury was more than just a crack in a bone. It was a pivotal moment that tested her resilience, decision-making, and the very fabric of her athletic identity: surgical decision-making. Imagine standing at a crossroads where each path holds significant ramifications for your future. That's exactly where Angel Reese found herself when confronted with the decision of whether or not to undergo surgery for her wrist injury. On one hand, surgery promised a more secure recovery, but on the other, the risks and the extensive recovery process could potentially derail her momentum on the basketball court. For Angel, the stakes couldn't have been higher. Opting out of surgery might mean dealing with chronic pain and long-term issues like arthritis or even complete bone damage. These potential complications could hinder her performance and shorten her career. On top of that, the possibility of enduring nagging wrist issues during crucial games was a scenario she couldn't afford. However, surgery itself was no walk in the park. With it came the promise of a painstaking recovery regime and the gamble of a successful outcome. The uncertainty loomed large. What if the surgery didn't yield the expected results? And let's not forget the mental aspect. The challenge of staying motivated and in peak condition while watching from the sidelines. Navigating through these tough choices required more than just medical consultations. It meant leaning on her support system, including coaches, family, and trusted confidants. It was a deliberative process, weighing the clear benefits of a long-term fix against the disruption it would cause in the short term. Factors like the timing of the season, her healing potential, and her broader career aspirations played roles in shaping her decision. Ultimately, it came down to a calculated risk, to balance her immediate passion for the game against the necessity of ensuring her wrist didn't become a recurring adversary. So, with a fierce determination and clarity that defines a true athlete, Angel made the tough call to go under the knife, aiming to secure her longevity in the sport she loves. It's a testimony to her resilience and a reminder that sometimes the hardest choices are the ones that lay the groundwork for future triumphs. Surgical procedure and recovery. So, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of what went down in the operating room and beyond for Angel Reese. First off, the surgery itself was no walk in the park, but trust me, it was essential. The medical team performed a procedure that involved inserting a tiny screw to stabilize the cracked bone in her wrist. Think of it as putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, but with way more precision and a lot less mess. The process was meticulously planned out. The surgeon made a small incision to access the affected bone and carefully inserted the screw to hold everything in place, ensuring that Reese's wrist would heal correctly. This hardware is like a superhero that keeps the bone stable, allowing it to mend without the risk of shifting or misalignment. But the operation was just the first lap of this grueling marathon. Post-surgery, things got even more intense. Angel had to wear a hard cast for 4 weeks, a literal lockdown for her wrist to keep everything immobile and aligned. It's like being grounded, but way worse, because we're talking about a professional athlete whose bread and butter is their ability to move freely. Once the hard cast came off, it wasn't all roses and sunshine. Nope, next came the soft cast for another 2 weeks. This phase was more about easing her wrist back into action, providing some support while allowing for a bit more movement. However, healing in an area with limited blood flow, like the wrist, is no joke. It requires patience, discipline, and a relentless commitment to following the medical team's instructions to the letter. All in all, Angel's recovery plan was about ensuring her wrist healed perfectly while preparing it to get back to its prime basketball playing condition. The road to recovery was daunting, riddled with obstacles, but every step was crucial to ensuring that Angel Reese could once again shoot, dribble, and slam dunk her way back into the game she loves. Long-term impact. Just when it seemed like Angel Reese was on the fast track to reaching new heights in her basketball career, the wrist injury threw a wrench into her plans. But more than just a temporary setback, the long-term implications of this incident could reshape her journey in profound ways. Let's face it, a wrist injury isn't just a run-of-the-mill bump or bruise for a basketball player. This is a sport where you're relying on your hands for dribbling, shooting, passing, and pretty much everything else. Reese's decision to undergo surgery was as much about preserving her future as it was about addressing the present pain. By opting for the surgical route, she's taken a step to ensure that she's not just playing next season but for years to come. The game doesn't wait, though. Every week off the court can feel like an eternity, especially for an athlete with the aspirations and potential that Reese has. The surgery's success could mean the difference between a career cut short or one that blossoms with even more vigor. If her wrist heals as planned post-surgery, she could come out stronger, with the resilience that comes from overcoming a career-threatening injury. But there's that lingering what if. Had she avoided surgery, short-term benefits like immediate return to play would be outweighed by the specter of long-term damage. We're talking chronic pain, limited mobility, and even the haunting possibility of early-onset arthritis. The decision to put her career on pause for surgery is really about hitting play on her future prospects. In a way, this ordeal positions Reese in a unique light. It's a test of her mental toughness as much as her physical resilience. How she navigates this recovery period, balancing rest with rehab, staying mentally sharp while sidelined, will set the tone for her return. We're likely to see a more mature, mentally fortified player stepping back onto the court, ready to turn this setback into a springboard for greater achievements. Angel Reese's wrist injury saga serves as a masterclass in the high-stakes decision-making process that athletes often face. From the initial shock of sustaining a severe wrist crack during gameplay to the agonizing choice about whether to undergo surgery, Reese has navigated each challenge with commendable courage and resilience. Choosing surgery was no small decision, considering the potential long-term impacts like arthritis or total bone damage had she opted against it. Her decision to go through with the procedure, which involved placing a small screw to stabilize the bone, wasn't just a move to heal faster, but a strategic choice to safeguard her future on the court. The recovery process was grueling, involving weeks in a hard cast, followed by further immobilization in a soft cast, all while contending with the wrist's naturally limited blood flow, complicating the healing. Yet, Reese's resolve kept her focused and driven, embodying the grit that defines an elite athlete. In the grander scope of her basketball career, this incident marks not just a period of physical recuperation, but a testament to her strength and determination. It's a powerful reminder of the essential, often invisible decisions that can make or break an athlete's future. As fans, it's pivotal to appreciate the timely medical interventions and the tough choices athletes must make in the face of adversity. These decisions, though personal and challenging, highlight the delicate balance between career longevity and immediate performance, underscoring the resilience required to shine in professional sports. Angel Reese's story isn't just about a wrist injury, It's about the relentless spirit of an athlete striving to overcome obstacles and emerge stronger on the other side. Here's to hoping that her journey continues to inspire and that she returns to the court better and bolder than ever.